Hi, my name's Izzy and I'm an Optimisation Executive at Sagittarius, and welcome to our virtual Women in Tech panel. It's my pleasure to let some of these amazing women in tech introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Sangeeta Brady. I am the Chief Delivery Officer here at Sagittarius. My role involves working with lots of very talented people who ensure all our projects and programs of work get delivered on time, with the quality that you're looking for, and obviously within budget.
Hi, my name is Sabina Philip. I'm a psychotechnical lead and I help build and deliver technical solutions.
Hi, I'm Gemma McComb. I'm a senior Sitecore developer and I work for Sagittarius.
Hello, I'm Natalie Waite, Chief Experience Officer at Sagittarius, and my role involves ensuring we deliver experiences that convert for our customer's customer, so ensuring we deliver really considered omni-channel experiences that look beautiful and are highly effective.
Hi, I'm Becky Willis. I'm the Growth and Partnerships Director at Just After Midnight. I drive a lot of the new business activities as well as the marketing for Just After Midnight, or JAM. And we're a 24/7 support and DevOps capability for agencies and their brands.
My name is Sorina Zivre. I'm working with Sagittarius in Sitecore Architect role. I'm here to help everyone on the technical side.
Hi, my name is Megan Mueller-Jensen. I am a Senior Solutions Architect at Proficient and a two-time Sitecore Strategy MVP.
Hi, I'm Rianne Smith and I am a project manager here at Sagittarius, and I look after delivery on all things digital, full life cycle digital programs from concepting and inception, experience design through to engineering delivery and full-scale digital transformation programs.
So to start off, how long have you worked in tech, and do you think the industry's changed much since you joined?
That's the question that made me have to do some maths, which I was a little bit sad about. I have worked in a technology industry or technology companies in one way or another since I was 21 years of age, which means I've been working in technology for 18 years. My first ever role, I was quite lucky to say I did work with a female engineer, but there was only one. And when she left, I was the only woman who didn't do an admin role in the organisation, in the whole organisation. And, you know, subsequent to that, I've worked with more and more female engineers, but it would take me to nearly my 30s before I met a female networking engineer or something like that. And that's been the biggest shift.
So I've actually worked in marketing for close to 20 years, and only the last 6 or 7 years of that have been in a technology-focused organization. So my frame of reference is kind of short. It's really only 6 or 7 years long. And in that time, of course, because of COVID, things have changed really drastically. I think we're encouraging and welcoming more women and minorities into our industry, and there's a lot more avenues for them to jump into this industry without maybe a formal 4-year education. And it's been really fun to welcome those folks into our organization, into technology, into the Sitecore community, because I think it's been a really transformational 3 or 4 years for women in technology and our industry in general.
So I worked in tech for a long time. I'm not going to tell you how many years, but let's say they had pen and paper when I first started. So it's changed hugely since I started working in tech. There weren't as many women when I started who were in tech. It was very much a male-dominated industry.
I've been always passionate about technology. That's why I chose to I chose and graduated from Technical University, Faculty of Information. I started as a backend developer. Yes, and to answer your second question, if industries has changed much, yes, definitely. IT world is constantly changing, as we all do, and I'm happy to see more robust set of tools, modules, and the technology advancing at a very fast pace.
I started working in the tech industry. It was funny because I thought about this earlier, and it's actually about 14 years ago, which makes me feel really old. It was completely different back then. So this was 2007. So now I'm giving away my age. And just people think things are male dominated now. Back in 2007, it was so male dominated, it was insane. So yeah, I would say that over the 14 or so years, it's changed quite a lot, culturally, as well as the fact that the tech industry, I mean, you only have to wait 24 hours and there's a new advancement, there's a new technology someone's excited about. So, you know, stretch that across 14 years and you've got a whole load of change. Yeah.
Worked in tech for nearly a decade now. Has the industry changed? Definitely. I mean, that is why we work in tech, because it changes every day. And in the past few years, we've just been a part of this amazing new journey. You've got, you know, your mobile revolution, you've got social media, you've got artificial intelligence, and just being a part of that has been amazing.
I've worked in tech for nearly 11 years. I know, you can't tell. And I think the industry's changed quite significantly. And I think what that's brought about is a lot more opportunity for women to participate in the tech industry in a multitude of ways.
Following on from this, do you think enough is being done to get more women into the tech industry? And if no, what could we be doing?
I've always been interested in technology. I've always been fascinated by the progress of technology and the changes it makes in the industries that I work in or the customer work that I've done in the past. And my daughter, who is 8 years old, is desperate to learn to code. And my husband, who is an engineer who can develop, is teaching her code. And she's like writing little mini applications in Minecraft and stuff herself now. Women want to get into the tech industry. There is not a barrier in the desire. So I don't think anything needs to be done to get more women into the industry. It's the industry that has to be a place that is accepting of women. We want to be there, but we aren't always safe. We aren't always heard. We aren't always accepted. We aren't always championed. And so it's not about, is enough being done to get us there? We want to be there. Is enough being done to support us staying there?
During COVID, millions upon millions of women worldwide had to leave the workforce, either because of layoffs or because they had to care for children or family members. And a lot of those women are now kind of reevaluating what they want to do with their career and are really kind of seeing this as a new chapter. And so the more we can reach out to those women and show them the potential, the earning potential, the flexible environment of working in technology, and then give them an on-ramp, make training and certifications more accessible.
Well, I think, I mean, I see an effort around the world for an equitable digital future. I've seen here locally in Cluj, events, conferences, podcasts discussing about women in technology. So I'm really happy to see this happening.
I think that there are a lot more initiatives now than there were when, say, I was at school. There's definitely a lot more education, but there can always be more to be done. So, for example, I had a realization. So I've got 2 boys. And when I go to buy clothes for them in the boys section, it's all gaming, it's all computers, it's all tech-led. Whereas the girls' clothes, it's all princesses and fairies and cupcakes. And, you know, the fact is that we're doing all these initiatives in school to try and get women into tech more, to try and drive more of an interest. You know, we're not enabling that attitude that girls can be gamers, that girls can think computers are cool. Like, so there's still a dissonance there in how we're presenting it societally.
I think there's definitely more that we could be doing. I've been fortunate enough to studied computer science in high school. So I was exposed to programming from a very young age, and not everyone has had that opportunity. So me being a teenager, I saw algorithms and I could play with them and I could write code and it produced this amazing thing. And it was just, to my eyes, it was just absolutely amazing that I could make a computer do something.
This is quite a hard one to answer because every business is unique and different. So I can only really speak for our business and the kind of community that we work in. And I believe that there is a lot being done for women to engage. The doors are open, there's opportunity to progress. And I think, you know, even in my experience, I'm an example of that. I've been enabled to grow my career and explore different avenues. So I do believe that if you select the right employer or the right opportunity or engage with the right partners, then there's lots of opportunity.
26% of the tech industry is female. Why do you think it's more important for more women to join the tech industry?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I'd never heard that statistic before. And I suppose I've been lucky in the sense that the percentages I'd experienced later on in my career has been higher than that.
Again, I don't necessarily want to make it so like us versus them. I think, you know, more so now as gender is being redefined as a full spectrum, you can't necessarily say boys versus girls. But there are definitely different ways of thinking and different ways of working, different cultural experiences that add a richness and a depth to collaboration. So whether that's building a solution, whether it's managing a project, whether it's selling the thing, whether it's designing the thing, I think that if we are, I mean, in digital and in tech, we fundamentally are creating something. And I think that if you've only ever got one particular type of person creating, you're going to get a very sort of homogenized, very boring, and, you know, no one's ever going to be challenged.
I just find women bring a different depth of thought to the table. We're logically, the way we think logically and the way we're made up, we problem solve in a different way to our male counterparts. And so I think that, you know, as I say, I'm biased, but I think that women are much more systematic in the way that they do it. They're less emotional and they get the job done. They're better problem solvers. So I think that that's why it should be at least a 50-50 split.
Lastly, and I think this is my favourite question, what advice would you give your younger self or those just starting out?
This work takes homework. You're never done learning. You're never done studying. And if you can kind of embrace that as the way your career is going to be and kind of remember what it was like to study for finals in college and do that kind of background homework, you will go far.
Although I want us all to achieve greatly, don't expect more of yourself than perhaps your male counterparts expect of themselves. I think we still live in a world where women have to work a little bit harder for the same amount of recognition. I don't think that's true in every industry. I don't find that to be the case here at Sagittarius, but it's probably dangerous advice because it is not going to be universally helpful. But I think women are too hard on themselves. And so I would start there. Don't be as hard on yourself.
I would recommend trying to find a mentor, but trying to expose yourself to as much information as you can and increasing your skill set.
You don't have to change who you are to fit in. You don't have to take shit. And, you know, actually, in order to be taken seriously, you don't have, there are certain battles that are definitely worth taking on. I think that's, for me, my biggest one. So I was taught when I was younger to kind of like, you know, men liked ditzy, they liked pretty, they didn't like to be challenged, they didn't like to be told no. As go back to my 18-year-old self and say, girl, say no more, like take up space and like assert yourself, because it took me years to learn to assert myself in a boardroom and to just take up space and give myself permission to do so.
I think the first one would be finding a mentor, a role model. I think for myself, walking into this industry and having, you know, a male line manager, seeing males in leadership, it didn't always have a female role model to see that women can do it and they can rise up to senior positions.
Don't be defensive. Try to help as much as you can and step out of the doer shoes into the planner shoes as soon as possible.
I would have said either get into development, do coding or development. I wish I could have done that when I was younger. It wasn't an option when I was younger. It is very much an option, and I'm looking forward to encourage my daughter, who's very excited to be doing any sort of engineering work.
I would say be curious, be open-minded, prepare to work really hard, but enjoy the ride, because there's ups and downs and there's lots of things that you can learn. So really grab hold of that. And ultimately, I'd say it's yours, it's ours to lose. We've got the opportunity. We can make opportunity now. There's lots of routes into this. So it's ours to lose. So enjoy the ride.
And that's a wrap on the Sagittarius Women in Tech virtual panel. I want to thank each and every one of the women that took part in this panel. You're true assets to the Sitecore community, and I personally find you all extremely inspiring. So thank you, and thank you for watching.